My channel has exactly 0 subscribers. Perfect, because today's story is about 0, the nothing that changed everything. 0 looks harmless. It's just a circle, a tiny hole in mathematics, but place it after 1, and 1 becomes 10. Add another, and it becomes 100. Keep adding zeros, and eventually you have either a billionaire's bank account or the price of popcorn at a cinema. But for most of human history, 0 didn't exist as a proper number. Early humans could count things they had. 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 0 sheep. That wasn't mathematics. That was just a very unsuccessful farmer. Ancient number systems were created to describe things that existed. Giving nothing its own number seemed unnecessary. The Romans, for example, had symbols for 1, 5, 10, 50, and more, but no standard numeral for 0. Roman numerals look impressive on monuments, but try doing long division with them, and the fall of the Roman Empire becomes slightly more understandable. Some civilizations, including the Babylonians, used placeholder symbols to mark an empty position, because there's a huge difference between 11 and 101. The zeros add nothing, but without them, the number completely changes. 0 contributes absolutely nothing, and still controls everything around it. The biggest breakthrough happened in India. Indian mathematicians began treating 0 as a number in its own right. In the 7th century, Brahmagupta wrote rules for calculating with 0 and negative numbers. Nothing had officially become something. Mathematics had hired 0. These ideas traveled through the Islamic world and eventually reached Europe, where people were suspicious of the new number system. It made calculations easier, so 0 didn't just transform mathematics, it also created new opportunities for terrible accounting. Eventually, its usefulness became impossible to ignore. And 0 has some unusual powers. Add 0 to a number, and nothing changes. 5 plus 0 is still 5. Multiply anything by 0, however, and 0 destroys it. 7 times 0? 0. 1 million times 0? Still 0. 0 doesn't care how important your number thinks it is. Then there's division. 0 divided by 5 is 0. But 5 divided by 0 is undefined. Imagine dividing 5 cookies among 0 people. You might say, easy, I keep all the cookies. Emotionally, excellent answer. Mathematically, completely useless. 0 also powers the modern world. Computers use binary, zeros and ones, off and on, false and true. Those 2 digits can represent photographs, games, music, and this entire video. Millions of zeros are currently working together to explain 0. But 0 isn't only nothing. It's also a beginning. A stopwatch starts at 0. A rocket launches at 0. Before a book is written, it has 0 words. And before a YouTube channel gets its first subscriber, it has 0 subscribers. So if you subscribe, you won't simply increase a counter. You'll decide which number gets the next story. For now, though, this story begins exactly where it should, at 0.